Before you keep goldfish, or if you're just starting out with them, here are 10 things you should know. Goldfish need a lot of space. A common guideline many keepers use is a minimum of 20 gallons of water for the first fish and 10 gallons for each additional fish, and even that is too small for full-grown fish. This 37-gallon tank will not be adequate when these fish reach full size. I will need to provide a larger home for these fish in the future because goldfish can get big. They can reach an adult size over 12 inches long depending on the variety. Generally speaking, the single-tailed varieties get longer than the fancy types. You'll hear people say that goldfish grow according to the size of their container, but that's not exactly true. Tank size is one of several factors, including genetics, feeding, and the environment the fish were kept in before you had them. These two fish have lived together for several years in this tank, and both have grown somewhat during that time, but Rory, the smaller one, was a rescue, and may never attain the size of his roommate, Amelia Pond. You need to cycle your aquarium before adding the fish. To put it simply, all fish, including goldfish, begin releasing toxic ammonia into their aquarium as soon as you put them in it. Within a few days, the water can be toxic enough to kill them, no matter how clean the water appears to be. In order to avoid this problem, you can cultivate beneficial bacteria in your aquarium that will detoxify the ammonia. It just so happens that I have a video on how to cycle your aquarium. Goldfish do best with quality filtration. Properly maintained filters will help maintain good water quality. There are a wide variety of filter types that can work. Many goldfish keepers try to filter the entire tank volume 10 times per hour. I have an AquaClear 70 that circulates 300 gallons per hour and a Marineland BioWill 200 that circulates 200 gallons per hour, totaling 500 gallons per hour, so my tank water is actually filtered approximately 13.5 times per hour. Change or rinse disposable filter pads or cartridges at least once per week. Weekly partial water changes are also very important. Some people recommend 35% of the water be changed once per week. I usually do 50 to 60% once per week. It's pretty easy with the right equipment and is one of the most important things you can do to keep your goldfish healthy. Goldfish need to be fed the correct quantity and type of food. They do not have true stomachs and their digestive system is built to handle grazing all day. This means it is better to feed them very small amounts of food 2 or 3 times daily, rather than one big feeding. Give them no more at one time than they can finish completely in a minute or less. They are omnivores, but the bulk of their natural diet is plant matter, so they benefit from fresh vegetable matter in their diet. In addition to a staple diet of good quality fish food pellets, I offer my goldfish small pieces of romaine lettuce, slices of zucchini, canned green beans, skinned peas, and even small bits of orange. Offering vegetable foods is especially important for the round-bodied fancy goldfish, as the fiber helps keep them regular, which can help prevent buoyancy problems. Many goldfish keepers overfeed their fish. Goldfish will learn to dance excitedly to beg for food even when they've already had plenty to eat. Don't give in to the temptation. Different types of goldfish may not mix well. Slimmer, single-tailed goldfish like these are faster swimmers and will have an edge against slower, double-tailed goldfish when feeding. They may outcompete the slower fish for food. Some double-tailed fish are quite hardy, but the more exaggerated the body type, the less competitive the fish tend to be. For example, a fish with bulbous eyes or no dorsal fin won't tend to do as well with common goldfish as it would with fish more similar to itself. Goldfish do best with other goldfish. People are often tempted to keep goldfish with other species of fish. I'm not going to say this never works, but it is often less than ideal. Goldfish are most comfortable at cool temperatures. Room temperatures are fine, but tropical temperatures will increase their metabolisms and thus their appetites and their waste production. Keep in mind that goldfish are big enough to eat some small species of tropical fish, and the flowing fins of many varieties of goldfish are tempting targets for many other types of fish. Some cool water species of fish can work as tank mates. I've had success with some of them in the past, but personally, I don't do it anymore. Nerite snails are currently the only creature I keep with my goldfish, as they help control algae and seem to coexist with goldfish very well. Consider your source of fish. Buying feeder goldfish is not the best way to get a pet goldfish. Feeder fish are very cheap, but the fish usually live in very poor conditions at the store, in overcrowded tanks with substandard water quality, and may be loaded with parasites. It can be done, but the mortality rate is typically high. Goldfish sold as pets will cost more, but tend to have a better chance of survival. Goldfish can live a very long time. The longest I've had a goldfish personally is 16 years. and it's very possible that that fish lived much longer, as I had to rehome him back in 2004 as I moved overseas and couldn't bring him. But it's not unknown for goldfish to live several decades. For example, in the description, there's a link to a news story about a goldfish who lived to be more than 40 years old. Goldfish are not a short-term commitment. I've kept goldfish most of my life. If you can provide them with a good home, they are a lot of fun. But as I hope I've just demonstrated, there's a lot more to keeping them than you might think. Thanks for watching. I post videos every Friday, all related to keeping aquarium and vivarium pets. You're most welcome to leave a comment and a like, and for those of you who are waiting for an animal voiceover at the end,
subscribe.